What if you could get more of the Jimmy and Nath Show with Emma? You can with the podcast, thanks to What If. You're only a what if away from great holidays. What If? It's Aussie for travel.
Welcome to the podcast, everybody. I'm frothing. Sorry, mate.
You're right, Jim.
Sorry, mate. I've told him this before. He turns his microphone off, but he coughs so loud that our other microphones pick it up.
the other option.
No, the other option is you stand up. Just quickly, this is how my wife expects me to fart, by the way. She expects me, every time Judy calls, she expects me to stand up.
Judy calling?
Nature calls. It means nature.
Hello,
nature.
Judy. Hello, Judy. It's fart time again. Great. How'd you get this number, Judy?
Why does a lady called Judy ring
Stop
you?
calling me Jude.
Nathan, you're about to fart.
Hey, Jude. That's what that Beatles song was about.
Yeah, hey, Jude. I'm about to fart.
Oh, Paul.
I had some bad beef.
Ringo!
My tummy doesn't feel better.
Okay.
But remember to leave your own house. Then you can start to do a fart, 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 fart. Ah! Fart, 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 fart.
Anyway, that was
Okay.
the original song for that.
Hey,
That's
fart.
about 11.
You finished.
Yeah, it was probably about 11 seconds too much. And I was a part of it, so I can
Only
acknowledge
11
it.
seconds.
I regret nothing.
Yeah, we know. That's
Okay.
one of
but
your
I wanna
biggest
know
problems.
It's true.
Yeah, sorry,
Sorry,
Chow.
sorry.
What were you going to say? No, what were you going to say?
What is it? Well, what were you going to say? Because we got very distracted
we're
by Hey
well past
Jude.
that.
When
No, I wanna know what-
when Judy calls him, Meg expects Nath to leave their apartment. That was in my fart song, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah, but leave the apartment or go to
I
the
covered
other
what he
room.
said, but you weren't listening because you went, there's a parody song here about farting. I'm not going to listen, but I actually covered what he was talking about because in the song I say, you expect me to leave the apartment.
Oh my God, is that what you sang not 1 minute ago? I didn't
Yes.
hear it. Thank you for explaining
Well,
it
then
to
why are
me
you
again.
asking him when
Because
I
that's-
explained what he was talking
No,
about?
You're not a mind reader.
Just quickly.
I am asking. You said, what was he talking about? She expects him to leave the apartment. The
I-
Is this
apartment.
your story or his?
I
Mine
also
now.
want to
I
say,
take ownership.
I also wasn't listening to the lyrics.
But isn't that what you were going to say?
Not the house
it was
song.
no, it was to go. I've got to go into the bathroom.
See?
Yeah, it's got to go.
I knew that.
I've got to go into the bathroom and shut the door. That's what
That's
she wants
ridiculous.
because she doesn't want to hear it. She doesn't want to smell it.
Yeah, mine's the same. Mine actually says leave the house.
Does she actually?
Yeah, just get out.
Yeah. Leave the house, mate. You don't live here. First of all,
we don't even live together.
First of all, who are you?
You know, we don't even live together. And she tells me get out of my own house. Go fart outside.
You know
It's all
why?
because
Because-
I shat myself. I sharted that one time.
Yeah.
Remember we were coming home from Bondi Junction?
Yes, that's right.
And so now she worries. that I
You're
shit
only
myself
one
again.
shot away from getting kicked out of your house.
It's because guys make it a sport to really upset their partners when farting.
Yeah, it's because we love you.
I push
No,
them out. That's the problem. And now she's
They feel
worried I'll
better
shit
pushed.
myself again.
They feel better pushed.
They do.
They do.
Something about it. I don't want to shit myself again. I want to go on the record here. But she's worried that once I did, and then
Put it
I had
this
to
way.
had to hover above the seat because
Yeah.
I'm like.
Put it this way, Em.
I
Fast,
felt it running. You know when it runs down the back of your leg? You can feel it.
Emma.
Don't.
Put it this way.
Oh,
what
you
it's
shit
like.
yourself.
Yeah, but
Get off your high horse.
when I had gastro, yes,
Yeah.
I lost all confidence. It took me like a couple of weeks to actually be confident
To
that
fart
I
again.
could.
Can I just say, farting?
But it didn't run. It was just there,
Well, then just shit. Oh, just in.
a little bit, teeny weeny bit.
Because the thing
It
is, like
didn't
when you
run
do
down
it,
my
you got to like get up off whatever you're at. Otherwise, it'll go through your pants onto the seat. So when you go up though, then the angle starts.
If we can go back to farting, farting is like being on a swing. They're better pushed.
I disagree. I feel like it's better when it's like it builds up and, then
you
it just
use
comes
your
down.
legs, use your legs and do it yourself.
Farting is like my ex-girlfriend on a cliff. Better pushed.
Well, that's how we lost her.
Oh God!
Yeah. It's not that she didn't die.
No.
Physically maimed.
Yeah.
Yeah. She didn't die. Well, she shouldn't have asked you to leave the house.
Na 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 na. Hey Jude. Enjoy the podcast.
Let's do this.
It's today. 1041's
That's right. Court is now officially in session.
50K Couple Courtroom.
Argue your way to a share of 50K in our couple courtroom. Much like our final couple, we've got Sarah, we've got Mel. Sarah's asked Mel to be her only bridesmaid in Bali, but is expecting Mel to pay a whopping $5,000 to do so, Em.
It's a lot of money, and they're starting to get argy-bargy about it. There's been some heated character witnesses already.
Yeah, the character witnesses enlightened us a lot because apparently Mel goes to Bali 3 times a year.
Yeah.
Every year.
Yeah, we're going to have to check that with her for challenge day tomorrow because,
But look, it is time for our expert witness. So, Nathan, please get the round applause ready for one of Australia's most sought-after wedding planners, known for turning dream celebrations into reality on a scale that's nothing short of spectacular. She said on 7 News, "We're not like construction workers. We don't get a second chance. If it rains, the show must go on." Please welcome to the show, Diane Curry!
Hi, Diane. Welcome.
Oh, wow. What an intro. Hello.
Diane, I'm just looking at one of the little points here is that you hosted a wedding at Luna Park and provided guests with tokens to go on rides between the ceremony and the after party.
Yes, I guess that was a reflection of the couple. Fun personality.
Sorry, that
That
sounds
is
like you
so fun.
sounded like you regret doing that, Diane. Was there a few vomits on the vomitron?
No, I was on the slide with them all. Just, after a big production, I needed that.
Yeah, did it, Diane?
Lost some people on the Ferris wheel.
The merry-go-round.
Hey, Diane, have you ever seen a member of the bridal party not show up to the wedding because there's been a Barney over, organising the wedding or cost, or there's been a falling out?
Oh, I wouldn't say on the day, but I definitely, you could start up with a bridal party of 6 people, and a few weeks before we're like, oh, we're down to 5. We need to reduce the bridal table. We need to change the run sheet. And then the reason is because there is a falling out, whether it's a best man, whether it's a maid of honor.
Wow.
Issues do arise. And I think, people realize, we're not on the same page, and sometimes they eliminate them. And it's sad.
Take them out the
It's
back.
really sad.
Like Hunger
It's really
Games, a
sad.
cannon goes off.
It is. It's like you're out. You're done.
Diane,
But,
I have a question because I've been to a few weddings and it's never happened, but I'm just fascinated by it because it's in the movies. Have you ever had anyone I object at one of the weddings that you've put together?
Stood up and object.
No,
It's only in the movies.
The theme of a lot of this argument is the cost and the money involved. $5,000 that Mel has been asked to pay to be the only bridesmaid to Sarah's wedding. What is the most expensive wedding that you've worked on before? How much are people dropping on weddings these days?
Well, some of the stuff that we do, definitely like well over millions of dollars.
Millions?
Talk about
How
Yeah,
many
look at the
millions?
foliage in these photos.
Like,
the
are you saying
foliage and the
like 3 million, 10 million?
Like if you had to guesstimate the most expensive one
the
you've
most
worked on.
expensive between 5 and 10 million.
Whoa. On a wedding.
Some people hire out the whole of Hayman Island and have a private event. And obviously to start doing buyouts, there's minimum spends. You're starting from $1 million plus just to take out the space, accommodation.
Wow.
And obviously not your average Australian wedding. For sure, because your average Australian wedding falls between 50 and 70,000.
Yeah.
This is on the other end of the spectrum.
What do you think the benchmark is of what the bride should pay for in terms of the bridesmaid? Like in Mel and Sarah's circumstance, Sarah is not footing the bill for anything. Mel's expected to cover her own hair and makeup, for example. Do you think that's kind of the bare minimum that the bride should cover?
I think if it's put on the bridesmaid, then regardless of if she has 10 holidays a year, it's not, you've put her as your maid of honor. She's important to you. I don't think that the bride should have any issue covering some of the expenses.
Diane, thank you very much. Diane Curry,
you for having me.
You're brilliant. Good stuff. If you ever need, some embassies for these $10 million weddings,
Yeah, we're
please.
here.
We'll bring you 3 over.
Good on you, Diane. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Bye.
Biggest thing we've been doing for the last 5 weeks, and we are in the final week. You can argue your way to a share of 50K in our couple courtroom, much like our final couple, besties Sarah and Mel. Sarah has asked Mel to be her only bridesmaid in Bali, expecting Mel to pay $5,000. Mel does not want to do that.
Mel doesn't want to do it, and we just had our expert witness on celebrity wedding planner Diane Curry. And Jimmy, you wanted to know if people had objected at any wedding she'd planned.
I'm fascinated by it. It's always in the movies. Someone says it, goes, no,
Yeah.
I'm still in love with that.
We spoke to Diane, and this was her answer.
Have you ever had anyone I object at one of the weddings that you've
Anyone
put together?
Stood up and object.
No,
It's only in the movies.
Damn. What about like a
No,
runaway
it's a-
bride or groom?
Someone who didn't show up the day.
no, they've all shown up.
The
No, I
movies are
haven't
fake.
had that drama happen.
Now, we know it's risky, but we've thrown it out to Sydney now. 13, 10, 60.
I've been a lot of weddings,
So have
and
I.
I've never seen it.
I've been to 7 this year, and I've never seen that.
Weddings,
You haven't been
yeah.
to 7 this year.
I've been to 4 this year.
He's rounding up to the nearest
I don't mind a little bit of mayo on it.
That's
Probably
probably
been 27 weddings.
So we wanted to know, have you objected? Did someone object at your wedding? Did you think about objecting and then you didn't?
Yeah, because it takes a lot of balls to do a public objection.
Yeah.
All right, so we do have a caller, Tanil.
Hello.
Tanil, have you witnessed an objection at a wedding?
Pretty much. So my sister's chosen partner, my mum wasn't a fan of, and secluded herself from the entire wedding, had nothing to do with it, sat up the back. Yeah, pretty much. She didn't like him, so she hardly attended.
Okay, but she didn't do, so she was clearly not into it, but she didn't stand up and go, I object.
No, but I think one more push from him doing something she didn't like, and I think she probably would have.
Would have got there. So we're getting warmer.
That's the mother of the bride, too.
Yeah, I
Ouch.
know. It's pretty obvious, if you've got that negative, closed off body language.
Yeah.
Heidi.
Hello.
We're looking for an objection at a wedding. We know it's a tough one. We've never seen one. We've never even heard of somebody doing it. Did somebody object at your wedding?
They sure did. My husband's best friend wrote in white on the bottom of his black shoes, "Don't do it." So when he knelt down, everybody in the church could see it.
Oh, my
and all
God.
started laughing.
Was it? Yeah, but was it a joke? Like, was it a bit?
No, he didn't want him to marry me.
Oh!
Why?
So hang on. So just so I can understand and visualize this. So like,
Liquid paper.
like Toy Story,
Yeah.
like
Like
Andy in
liquid
Toy
paper.
Story,
On Woody's
like Woody's foot. So he's written "Don't do it" on the bottom
Don't
of
do
his
it.
foot.
Yep, on the bottom of both of his shoes was "Don't," and everybody was
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Okay,
Oh, no.
okay,
No, we've
so,
lost
so
Heidi.
at some weddings, they have the couple, depending on
she
the
still there?
ethnicity of the
Yeah.
wedding, you've got to get down on your knees and kneel before the priest so the whole congregation can see your feet. That's where they
Correct.
saw don't do it.
And what happened?
So why did the best man gets down on his knees? Why?
No, the groom.
No,
The
it was
best
my
man wrote
husband
it.
that was down on his knees, and the best man wrote it on his shoes so that it would be seen.
Oh, so sorry. The best man wrote it on the groom's shoes.
Yes.
Yes,
So the groom's your husband? Yeah.
correct.
Did
yes.
he know that it was written on the shoes?
I don't know if he did or not.
Are you still with him?
Yeah, I'm still with him. We've been together for 30 years.
Have you not asked him in 30 years?
Probably at the time, but I don't remember what his answer was. But, yeah.
I feel like it's something you should probably ask.
But also, was the best man in love with Heidi? Did he hate Heidi's
No.
guts? Like, what?
Well, he didn't really agree with me getting married to him. He thought that I was not going to be fun enough.
yeah.
No, it's just a question I'd ask.
I just feel like, 30 years you've been together, it hasn't come up over dinner. Few peanuts.
I don't know.
Hey, remember that at the wedding?
Trending now with Emma Chow.
Dua Lipa has revealed how she and her fiancé Callum Turner met, and it's definitely a twist of fate moment. I love these stories. So they met at a cafe when she was out to lunch with her dad. And then fast forward a year, he turns up to a friend's dinner that she was at. And she was like, oh, that's the hot guy from the cafe a year ago. Like, obviously, he's seared into her brain. He asks her what she was reading. They turn out to be reading the same books. They've already connected on multiple
This
levels.
sounds like a rom-com.
I know, and she's like 1,000% it made her believe that they were destined to be together. So they met the first time a year, randomly. A year later they meet again, and then they're reading the same book.
I love an in real life meeting and not done on the apps. At a cafe.
Well, you guys have
See
been
the
with your
whole way.
partners forever. So, I mean, you met. Actually, I don't
Through
know how you
friends.
met. That's right, through
Yeah,
friends, yeah.
yeah.
I met
I'm
my
lucky.
wa-
I'm in a new relationship, but it was through friends as well.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Yeah,
a.
that's nice.
I met my one at work.
I don't want to look. I just think like the world is changing, and I don't want to be an old man that yells at the clouds.
Yes.
But I think that's how a lot of people meet. But there is something, I don't know, still magical or beautiful about meeting someone in real life.
It really is. I love
Yeah.
hearing those stories. Like, I love the story. Because when people, look, Love is love. If you find your person through the app, sure.
Yeah.
That's
I
how
know
it works.
people who've got married on
successful
off the apps and kids and stuff, so
Yeah.
it works. But
It works, but there is still something nice about seeing somebody in person and then seeing them again later on
Yeah.
and having that memory burnt into your brain
Yeah.
and then be like, we're reading the same book. It's almost like I'm not somebody who's like, oh, destiny and fate.
Yeah, fate.
But there's something like that
Right?
makes me think it does exist.
there's a Matthew McConaughey's book, Green Lights, which is a great book. If you haven't read it, do yourself a favour. But there's a chapter where he talks about he sees his wife for the first time and he walks into this room. He'd never met her.
At a party? Or?
Yeah, it's at a party.
Yeah, okay.
And he's like, the room stopped and he's like, everyone became blurry and she was in this blue dress and he's like, I just went, I need to. He's like, I don't believe in love at first sight, but I need to meet this person. I need to speak to this person. And
those
now the mother of his kids,
moments still happen. And it's nice. It's nice to hear them.
It is, isn't it sweet? And
Lucky-
look at you two softies.
Well, I am in love with Dua Lipa. So.
Isn't everyone?
I'm in love with Callum Turner.
And everyone actually is in love with Jonathan Bailey. He is the internet's boyfriend. Okay, so this year it's Pedro Pascal.
Okay.
You looking at me confused.
Who's
you don't know who Jonathan
no, who's
Bailey
that?
is?
He's a guy
Fierro from Wicked.
Wicked.
The Prince.
Yeah.
The Prince from
Oh,
Wicked.
yeah, that bloke.
I didn't watch Wicked, but
Yeah,
that's
I've
what he
seen
is.
Wicked.
He's
yeah.
also the Viscount from Bridgerton.
I'll stop you there. I haven't seen that.
He's also, he bats for the other team.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
And everyone's very
a lot
upset
of
about
girls
that. We're
crush
all
on
upset
him
about
really
that.
hard.
What a
Yeah.
waste.
Like
Yeah.
Pedro. I mean,
Yeah.
allegedly.
Allegedly.
Well, yeah, true.
Anyway, people are obsessed with what he wears on the red carpet, and this week he wore like a nice grey sweater, black jeans, and thongs to the Jurassic World Rebirth photo call. Someone said he can wear whatever he wants because he's that hot, and someone else said love him, but I can't with the feetsies.
Really?
Thongs.
Does
How
he
do you
have
feel?
nice feet? I love them, mate. Jimmy and I love a plugger.
Oh,
Yeah,
We
but do you
love
like a plugger? I know you like a plugger on you, but if you see a plugger on girls, how do you feel?
If they've got nice feet, I don't
I'm
mind a
a
plugger.
believer of if you're hot, you're hot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't care
You
what
could
they
be
wear.
hot with fugly feet, though. You could have like just
Well, you
Troll
are hot
feet.
with troll feet.
Yeah, you do have little trolleys,
They-
but that's
they are
okay.
quite- with your bunions and your, what's that thing?
Okay,
you
I
get?
don't have bunions.
What do you get? You get
Corns.
tinea?
I have a little bit of tinea
Tinea.
on my right.
And don't you have there's a bit of gout and there's a
You
bit
don't
of
wash your sheets.
Gout.
You don't
Is
use
it-
sheets.
I had to
Every
wash my
3 months.
sheets the other
Dirtbag.
day.
Yeah.
I did wash them. I washed them in the last week.
You know, we're just laying in bed the other night. You ever lay in bed and your partner just says something like you're about to fall asleep, and then your partner just be like, blah. They'll say something.
Yeah.
I'm about to fall asleep, and Charlotte goes, "Hey," and she goes, "It's disgusting. Emma doesn't wash her sheets."
Em, you've been working with us for a few months now. Sorry about that. How would you rate our maturity levels? Because you also have 2 young kids at home. What's the comparison there?
You're probably at like a 4 out of 10 if maturity is 10.
That's higher
You
than I
guys are at a
thought.
4.
It's higher than I thought, Jim.
Yeah, because you can have deep conversations, the both of you, but most of the time you're mucking around.
Yeah.
That's why I love being here, though.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
true.
I mean, I love that though. I mean, it's.
We do.
I just love mucking around. I don't know. I just think I think the sillier I am is because of how, without getting too deep, is how dark and bad life can be.
Yeah.
Terrible things can happen.
Yeah.
So I think there's a choice you make every day to just be silly and to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I can understand that's not everyone's cup of tea, but that's sort of our philosophy.
Well, here's the thing. So with the help of Sabrina Carpenter, and obviously this is her new one, man-child. The term man-child has entered the chat, guys. So this term, pretty self-explanatory, describes a man with childlike qualities, Jimmy and Nath, who think emotionally mature men who most likely, have a very supportive partner, but it's their job in the relationship to muck around, which is essentially what we do 95% of the time, Jim.
Yeah.
This made me think of some of the things that you do as a kid that are, for some reason, non-kosher to do when you're an adult. And I feel like you need to bring these things back.
Can I just say something on this, right? So
Yeah.
you're saying things that you do as a kid that you don't do as an adult. I did something the other day, and I can't explain it. It's something you do as a kid all the time. I see kids doing it all the time. I did this the other day out the front of my house, and I can't explain it, but when I got up there, I was like... Euphoric. I felt energized. I was just like, this is sick.
This is what I'm talking
I just
about.
had so much energy, and I felt so happy, and I can't explain why. Maybe it's because it is something I did as a kid and you don't do as an adult.
What was it?
I climbed a tree.
Climbing a tree is amazing.
Climbing trees.
Yes.
The tree at the front of our house.
It's a great tree to climb.
I looked at it, And I was like,
With your hands on your hips.
yeah.
like that.
I went,
I'm
I
bloody
got
going to
time.
get...
I was on the way to the gym, but I had time because my car's out the front. I went, I got it in me.
I'll be honest.
And I climbed up, and you got a view of the streets.
Oh, beautiful vista.
And I just sat on a branch, and I went,
I
I am living.
I'll be
This
honest.
is not live.
Livin.
Em, true story. I drive past at least 3 trees a day and go, I can get up there. I could scamper
But
right
when's the
up
last
there.
time you went up?
Oh, I've
You
got...
need to, mate.
See, and
you
this-
need to get up a tree. And when's the last time you were up a tree?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I need you to get up there.
Climb a tree today.
Yeah.
Climb a tree.
Jimmy talking. Bloody climb a tree.
Climb a tree today.
Do you know what I really would like to be socially acceptable? And it was kind of when you were a kid. Licking the plate.
Oh.
Can we
I
just
know.
lick the plate
I still
and
do
lick
that.
the bowl?
I love a
No,
plate
I mean
lick.
in public.
Yeah.
What do you? I do it at home.
I also I give it to Baxter and he licks the plate from the
Yes.
restaurant and
Yes.
she gets really upset about that.
Yeah, that's
Guys,
a bit gross.
I've got a list of things that I I've got a list of...
Okay, don't need to shame me and my dog.
Put the peanut butter away. 131060. We want to ask this question. What childhood thing do you wish was still acceptable? Here's a few of the things that I thought of last night, right? A few things that I just wish could come back, right? I already do this first one, but sucking your thumb. Right? I'm one of the great thumb
You were going to
suckers.
say something.
Yeah, well, kids, I don't know how you grew up, but sucking your thumb.
No. No,
No,
mate,
Nate.
sorry. That's
No.
So good.
No, sorry, that doesn't need to come
It's
back.
It's very,
so
I
good.
want Betty.
Can
I
someone
want
from
Betty.
outside please say no?
Oh,
no.
I love that.
No, darling, we don't suck our thumbs.
Okay,
so
to know that one. What about this one? And this one I love. I used to love it as a kid and I would love it now. Falling asleep in the car and being carried up and put into bed by your parents.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
So good.
Sometimes me and my wife
And
will
you-
go to an event late at night. She'll be driving home. I'll fall asleep in the car. And I just wish I didn't weigh 100 kilos and she weighed 12. Because I would love nothing more than her to carry me up and tuck me and kiss me on the
so
forehead.
nice, yeah.
I love that one. How about this one? And Jim, this is something that you and I have discussed before. Bring this back. Normalise it. Weeing at the urinal with your pants around your ankles.
No, that's also a hard no. No, there was a guy we worked with that did it. You and I
Yes,
were
and
creeped
he's
out.
L-I-V-I-N.
No,
he's
he's
living.
F-I-R-E-D.
Adam. Hello, Adam.
G'day, guys. Go to Blues for tonight.
Go
and,
to Blues.
Oh, bloody hell, Adam. Shut up.
And the one thing I'm weary of would be the swing on the clothesline for us, the Hills Hoist clothesline.
Oh, so good. And hanging upside down like a monkey.
Problem is, Adam, I'm just a big fat bastard these days.
Yeah, we need to reinforce that Hills Hoist. Good on you, Adam. Alyssa,
Hi, how are you?
we're good. What childhood thing do you wish was still acceptable?
Just not being able to drive, being in the back, being in the passenger seat, not having to pay for petrol.
Yeah,
God,
so
one of
yeah,
life's
just
most annoying things.
anything driving, nothing better than getting
I tell
put
you,
in the back seat and then doing that. My nan used to do my belt up for me.
Yeah.
Used to love that.
My kids get snacks in the back now too. They get their belts done and their snacks.
Yes,
that's-
you get snacks sitting in the back.
If
It's
that's
like
what you're after,
living your best
Alyssa,
life.
just have a bunch of beers
Yep.
because now you're drunk, you can't drive.
Yep.
One of your mates then, but like be excessively drunk.
Yeah.
So now you can't put your own seatbelt on.
Yeah.
And then they'll stop at Macca's, drive through on the way home.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Being drunk is like being a child.
Yeah,
That's true.
It
It really is.
It's also why you climb that tree. Luke.
So are we?
Good, mate. What childhood thing do we want to normalise? Bring it back so it's acceptable.
Oh, it's got to be public tantrums. The amount of mild inconveniences that I just wish I could, get on the ground, roll around, kicking and screaming in public.
Yeah. It's so good. 'Cause
Yeah.
these days there's articles being like adult breaks down at airport. It's like, what's wrong with that? You know what I mean? If I want to hold my breath and stamp up and down,
Kids
that's
do it all the
fine.
time. Everywhere you go.
Yeah,
Yes.
and stomping and screaming have a lot to be
And in my defence,
spoken for.
I didn't know there was a reporter at the airport that day.
What if you could get more of the Jimmy and Nath Show with Emma? You can with the podcast. Thanks to What If. You're only a what if away from great holidays. What if? It's Aussie for travel.